It's 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock for those that are in Queensland, because you know they're backwards, they're in the past. Welcome to our live demonstration tonight of slow worm. Now let me see if I've got anybody popping on. If you're there and you're watching me, give me a little chat, a little hi, a little g'day, just so I know I've got some people out there watching me, and hopefully we'll be able to start on with the tutorial shortly. Hey Kim, how are you, sweetheart? I got one. Oh, hello Annette, how are you going? Okay, I wonder if I can make this, can I pop this chat window out, or does it?
Yeah, you can.
I can? Ooh, maybe I might leave that for another day. Okay, beautiful. Hey Donna and Leanne and Jenny, how are you guys going? All right. Jane, you made it. Yeah, Elizabeth, you're very welcome. All right, beautiful. Okay, so as I said, we're doing slow worm tonight. It's a fairly easy weave. Hey Joe and Shirley and Wes. It's a HP 3-in-1 variant, so a little, that's the trickiest part of it all. I think everybody here though should be fine with it. We've done our HP variants before, so it certainly won't be anything new to anyone. Hey Natalie and Di, how are you all? Yeah, the Queenslanders got their times right this time. Okay, all right, beautiful. I know you're a Queenslander, Susie. Hey Sue, how are you? Marion, good to see you. You can't do HP 3-in-1? Well, hopefully after this you'll be able to. All right, so we've got a few people watching, so we'll flip over to the other camera and we'll give this a start. And anyone that comes along will just have to catch up later. All right, so as usual, I've got some samples here made up for you guys. So we'll start with 14 gauge. So this is 14 gauge, 3.5 mils for the BA, and a 1/4 inch, 6.35 millimeters for the coloured rings. This is what I would consider the back of the weave. I don't know what others would think, but this is what I would consider the back of the weave. This is what I would consider the front. This is the way I would wear it anyway. Okay, 16 gauge, 1.2 mil. The ring ID for the BA for the outside rings was 7 mils, and inside I chose 5/32 or 3.97. This size actually gave me the shape I was hoping for. It's a little tight to weave, so it is a little bit trickier than the 14 gauge. It's just, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show you the difference. It just gives it more of the triangular shape that it's supposed to have. Just tightens it up a little bit more. I could only get that with the 16 gauge. I wasn't able to get quite that fit that I wanted with the others. So it is a little bit tighter to weave the 16 gauge, but it gives it a nicer look, in my opinion anyway. 18 gauge version, 1 mil. The BA rings are 6. And the AA rings are 9/64 or 3.57. And the 20 gauge, 0.8 mil. The outside rings is 4.75 millimeters, and the AA rings are 1/8 or 3.18 millimeter. So that's the different sizes. As I said, I think As far as the structure of the weave is concerned, I prefer the 16 gauge structurally, but any of them make really nice bracelets. I think you'd be happy with any of them. Alrighty, so we'll make a start. So as I said, it is a HP 3-in-1 or half Persian 3-in-1 variant, right leaning variant. I have seen people do it with left leaning. I guess it depends on how much of a purist you are in regards to what the base weave looks like. Alright, so we start off with 3 of our BA rings or colour 1 rings closed. We stack them one on top of each other, like you see here. Put a twist tie or whatever it is that you use to hold them in place. What we're aiming for is to be able to see this overlap here, what we call eyes. And that's what we're looking for. Okay, so start with, we take one of our opened BA rings and we're going to put it around the eye of the first 2 rings here, starting from the left. So we just go around that eye, close it up. We do a better job than that of closing it. Okay, so that it looks like that. And then we take another opened ring. This time we're going to go around the eye that's formed by the 2nd and 3rd ring, but through the eye that's formed by the 1st and 2nd ring, while we're keeping it under this ring here. So to show you how that's done, just go through the eye, around the eye there, and up through that first eye. Making sure we keep under the first ring that we put into place. And we close that up. So this is what we've got so far. Okay. So to extend it out, we take another opened ring, and this time we want it to go through that last eye that's there, that's formed by the 2nd and the 3rd ring, the one that we just went around. And we want to make sure we keep that under the rings that we've woven into place already. So you just pop that through there, straight through that eye. Okay, before you close the weave, take one of your closed rings, pop that on, close it up. Okay, so you're then left with this ring here that's wobbling around all over the place. We want to position that so that it sits at the front of our weave. So here it is loose, and we just position it so it sits there at the front. And then our next ring goes through the eye that one forms with the previous ring. So straight through that eye there, keeping underneath these rings here on the top. Before we close it up, we pop on one of our pre-closed rings and we close that ring. Okay, again we're left with this floppy ring that we've just put on, so we move that to the front of our weave so it sits on top of the previous ring, giving us another eye just here, which is where we will weave the next ring in. And you just keep going like that, putting it through the eye underneath the rings that are on the top, popping a pre-closed ring on, closing it up, and then bringing it to the front of the weave. Finding the eye, putting the closed ring on, closing it up. Okay. Under there, through the eye. Putting the closed ring on. Closing it up. Okay. One more. Moving it to the front of the weave. Putting through the eye. Putting on our closed ring. And closing it up. Okay, so when you get to the end, to the length that you require, move your ring to the front as you normally would. Take up a closed ring as you would before, just feed it through the eye. This time we're not adding any pre-closed rings on. We're just going to close that up. Okay. What I like to do, if you've got a spare twist tie hanging around, which I always do have, I like to just put one in the other end. Just keep it all nice and snug and in place. You can put your clasp attachment ring in there, whatever, just something to keep it all in place. With this end, we remove the twist tie from the beginning rings and we just pop it through as we did for that end, through those first two rings, just to hold it all in place. Okay, so how are we with that? Did everybody follow that bit okay? So as I said, this is Half Persian 3-in-1 right leaning. You can see that the eyes here are all leaning to the right. If it was left leaning and we looked at the weave, they would be leaning obviously to the left. Okay, so this is normally considered the front and Half Persian 3-in-1. We're going to flip it over and work on the concave side, the wrong side of 3-in-1. But before we do that, we'll do our giveaway. And I'll answer any questions if anybody's having a problem there. All right, so for our giveaway tonight, we're just going to give you away a random selection of scales. I don't have anything particular in mind, but we've got, you know, our large scales, our small scales, we've got different metals. I've even got some anodized titanium ones down there that I've done myself. I might throw in the pack for you. So it'll be a random selection of any of the scales that we stock here on Aussie Maille, give you an idea of what the product looks like. So if you're interested in joining in for that giveaway, and this is only for those that are watching this session live, anybody that's watches the recorded version, obviously the giveaway won't be available. All right, so the question tonight, and it was, we've decided who's your favourite character from Harry Potter. So we were struggling a little bit for a question tonight, and I've got this Snape here who sits on my desk and frowns at me. So he was the inspiration for our question tonight. So in the question, in the comments, if you just want to write who your favourite Harry Potter character is, and we will put you in the draw, and we'll draw that name out tomorrow, and we'll let you guys know who is the winner of that prize. So for a selection of scales, who's your favourite Harry Potter character? Okay. Jenny's having a few problems, is she?
Yeah, she's good.
She's good now? Okay, beautiful. All right. Excellent. All right, I can see some answers coming through. Beautiful. Hagrid. Well, I had a Snape. I've got a Snape, and I had a Dumbledore. They're actually key rings. And I had a Dumbledore, and he sat on my key ring. And unfortunately, I dropped my key rings the other day, and I beheaded Dumbledore. So now I have a Dumbledore head on my key rings. And hanging off my car revision mirror is a Dementor, a little pop Dementor as well. So yeah, got a few. Chris went and bought them for me. He's a good man. Although I'm a little upset that I beheaded Dumbledore. Not to worry. Okay, beautiful. All right, so I will continue with this weaving then. So that's the Half Persian 3-in-1. Everybody seems fine with that. So hopefully, yeah, I'm surprising nobody is actually saying Harry. That's interesting, isn't it? We'll continue weaving this with this. So that's the hard bit over and done with, and now on to the easy bit. So what we're going to do now is work, as I said, on the inside of our weave, and our first ring that we place is going to go around this eye here, around these two rings, just here. Okay, oh, where have I put my pliers? There they are. Got excited and put them down in the wrong spot. Okay. Okay, so just go around those two there. Nothing tricky at all. And close that up. Now you've got a couple of options to how you want to actually do this. The tutorial I sent out showed it with running all the way down one edge, flipping it over, running all the way down the other. You know, it's up to you. When I weave for myself, I usually just put one in there and then I come through the top and I do the other one, but I'll do it as I put it out in the tutorial. So I'll do a couple down the side. So we just go down to the next eye and do the same thing. Just go around those two rings, close it up. And one more. Okay. There's two rings here. We go around those, close it up. Okay. And then we just basically do the same on the other side. So you can turn it over, you can work from the top, whatever works for you. That's fine. This time though, when we go around those two rings, we want to come up and pick up that coloured ring as well. Okay, close it up so that it looks like that. Super easy. Most of these Half Persian 3-in-1 variants are quite easy. So around the two rings like before, but before we close it up, we want to scoop up the colouring that we did on the other side. Close it up. Okay, and again, around those two rings there, up through the colouring, and we close it up. So that's pretty much it. Yes, the second colouring goes through the previous one, locks it all in place, if you want to call it a locking ring. And you just do that for the length of your bracelet. So as I said, I usually just weave one here and then I'll go through and weave one on the top as well. Okay, and that is Slow Worm, which I have to say, every time I hear Slow Worm, I instantly start singing Slow Hand in my head. It's really quite distracting. I'm surprised I haven't called it Slow Hand by mistake. Okay. And there we go. So that's it, guys. That's the weave. Does anybody have any fat lumps? I would never have thought that fat lumps was Stephen McCabe. I'm so glad you told me, Stephen. Do I even want to know what fat lumps is? Oh my god. All right, sorry about that. So that's basically it. Is anybody having any problems with that? Did they need me to go over anything? I'm a little scared to know where they came up with the name, Susie. Anyway, all right. So I'll just go over the weave size, the ring sizes again for anybody that's missed up. Oh dear. Oh, Stephen, I'm even more concerned now. All right, so our 14 gauge version, which is no, what's one of the names? What's one of the names the kids? Something to do with fish? Spicy fish and things like that. I don't know where they get their names from for their logins and their accounts. Okay, so 14 gauge, which is 14 gauge AWG or 1.6 millimeters, 9.50 for the BA on the outside, and a 1/4 inch or 6.35 millimeters for the rings on the inside. Our 16 gauge 1.2 mils has 7 millimeter ID on the outside for the BA, and 5/32 or 3.97 for the AA rings. Fat lumps. Yeah, it brings all sorts of images to mind, Stephen. I don't know whether I want to know why he calls it that. 18 gauge or 1 mil, the BA rings, 6 mils ID, and the AA rings are 9/64 or 3.57. And then our 20 gauge version, 0.8 mil, the BA rings are 4.75 on the outside, 3.18 on the inside. Okay, fantastic. So that's it. I think everybody's okay with that. I don't think anybody needs any more. Oh, Stephen, you're giving me quite the giggle tonight. Idiotic panda. Oh, I like that. I like that. Our daughter is a panda fiend, so maybe we should call her idiotic panda. All right. Okay, so that's the tutorial for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed the weave. It's quite a it's quite a lovely little weave, and it's not too difficult to use once you can do the half Persian. That's pretty much it. We've got one more day for November's sign up. For those that have been wanting to sign up for November, we've only got one more day. That's tomorrow, and then we will close the registrations down until the beginning of November. So if you want to get in, you better do that soon. Is there anything else?
YouTube channel changes.
We'll be making some changes to the YouTube channel. Yeah, because we're total YouTube newbies and all the rest of it, and we had to take this on quickly because of the stuff up with Facebook. We've been doing a little bit of research, and we're going to have to do some changes to the way we've got the channel set up. Hopefully that won't affect you guys too much. So it may be a different address for the channel next week, but we'll let you know if that happens. No sale for tonight. Sorry guys, I completely spaced on doing a happy hour sale tonight, so sorry about that. I don't think I have too much more to talk about. Oh, the pre-order's going well for hyperlinks. for those that have already put their orders in, thank you very much. We've still got 1 week of that running. And then we will shut our pre-order down and we'll submit our order to Michelle. I have had a couple of people ask us about, dates and things when they'll be delivered. We can only give you our best estimates, which, our best case scenario would see it being delivered sometime in the week of the 14th of November. But there is no guarantee that they'll be delivered that week. It is purely up to Michelle. I'm sure she'll do her best to get it out to us, but you have to expect that there might be a bit of a delay going on there. And I think that's probably it. Can't think of anything else, Chris?
Don't know, but Fat Lumps is a question.
Fat lumps, thanks guys, but why did my first session have to be for Is that Harry Potter or Half Persian? I don't know what HP is standing for now. Fat lumps, you've got me all confused. Do we call him Fatty or do we call him Lumpy or Fatty Lumpies? Will our subscriptions to Aussie Maille on YouTube be the same?
Yes. I'm assuming she's talking about the Mail Club. Oh,
No.
the subscriptions to the channel? No.
No.
We'll probably have to change that.
All right, so Chris is saying no. So we'll let you know once, because as I said, we're going to try and set it up a little bit differently. Half Persian is your bane. Oh no, it's a beautiful weave, Fatty. You'll be fine. I'm having too much fun with this. Well, I could be picking way worse fat lumpy things to call him. Yeah, Shirley, sorry. There may be a change. You'll have to bear with us with this because we're newbies to YouTube ourselves and we're learning on the go. We do have to make a small change so Chris can access the channel and things like that. But we'll let you guys know, and we're sorry for the inconvenience that it's going to cause. But once we get it all worked out, I actually think YouTube should work quite well for us. All right, guys, so I think that's it. Control your woman. What do you mean, Susie? You and I are going to have words, sweetheart. And here I was telling Chris, I think I could get along with you. I'm just not sure about this now. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming along again this week. We really do appreciate it. And for the chat and the giggles. And we shall catch you next week. So Wednesday we'll put the new weave up. As usual on Facebook, you'll be able to see what it is. I know. All I've had is a bit of Coke, which I don't usually drink, Donna, very much. So maybe that's giving me the giggles. We'll put all that information up next week and we'll see you next Saturday. Don't forget to put your finished works up on Aussie Mailers. We really would love to see what you do. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.